And we were heading towards his boat, and I could see that he was outside his boat. He was standing outside doing something on his boat. And he looked over and he saw us walking towards him, and he squared up, he as if like, I'm going to say something again. And I just got Brian's arm and I squeezed it and I said, don't say anything to him. Don't answer back. Don't start anything. Not saying that you were a troublemaker.
I would never do that. Me?
I could feel it. I could feel you prickling like a flipping dog with the bloody bristles on the back of its neck. You know, when you know it's going to go and you're like, no, come here, come here, come here. Don't say anything. Anyway, we walked towards the guy and he looked straight at us and he said,
hello.
Daddy, I love him.
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Awesome time, eh, Liz?
I think it's really special that we are about to do a podcast on letting it go, the subject letting it go. And behind us is a beautiful big tree with golden leaves that are letting the leaves go because it is autumn here in England. It's like we made it specially, isn't it?
Yep. There's an electric car just came past as well.
We're bringing you this podcast today about the subject let it go, letting it go. And how we have let things go quite drastically in the last couple of weeks. We've got 3 stories that we wanted to share with you about letting it go, and how by doing that, letting it go, it has lowered our stress levels. Well, hopefully it has for you.
Yep. Always for me, eh?
No, I know, but I hope you're not going to contradict me when I say that, but I think it's lowered your stress levels.
Yes.
Lowered your stress levels and given us an easier path forward. So if you're the sort of person that has problems letting it go, like I am, massively, then I think you will really enjoy this episode.
Yes.
We are walking down the street in Freshford, just outside Bath. Do you know what?
What?
Yeah, so I was telling Brian, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday, I got an email. We did a podcast a couple of weeks ago where we were walking through these fields in Freshford. We're from New Zealand. We just think, no one's ever going to watch our stuff.
I know, the other side of the world.
Listen to our podcast, or hang on, because we're just going past some noisy workmen.
Got the digger out, got the little 1-ton digger. Well, I've got 1.5, that one.
We don't seem to have much luck when we come to doing our podcast, do we?
Yeah.
Either the neighbour has got his wind blower going, or we always seem to walk past like really noisy things.
I know.
Anyway, yeah, like a couple of weeks ago we did this podcast and we were walking through Freshford, and yesterday I got an email and it said, hello Liz and Brian. I was researching house sitting because my son lives in Australia, and I came across your podcast, your vlog, where you're walking through the fields of Freshford, and I recognised it because that's where I walk every weekend.
On my Sunday walk.
On my Sunday walk. So I just wanted to say hi, and yeah, I don't know, it just felt so weird that...
It does feel weird when people reach out to you like that, doesn't it? Because you just
especially
think...
people where you think you're hidden, you
I
just think
know.
no one's going to ever listen to our podcast here.
Yeah.
Only you listen to our podcast, obviously. No one else does. So yeah, it was just really, it was lovely. It was really lovely.
Was. Yeah.
But now I'm going to be looking around going, where is she? Where's Alison?
Alison, where are you?
Yeah.
And down the river though, like. Yeah.
So how have you been? We have missed you. Do you know what? As soon as we record a podcast, me and Brian, we were like, let's make another one. Just like,
I know.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. So just know that we've missed you. We're just going through a little kissing gate.
Oh, there we go. Let's try that.
Do you know what someone said, Brian?
What?
On YouTube. He said, why didn't you give Liz a kiss when you went through the kissing gate?
Well, there you go.
Why didn't you?
It's on camera. Nobody needs to see that, Liz.
Really?
No.
Why?
Because...
Right, yours thing is really flapping over. Is that okay?
My thing's really flapping
No,
over.
the microphone is really flapping over.
That's all right. It'll be noisy now I've done that.
Can I touch the camera?
No. I stood the way around today, so you can't even see what you're recording.
So yeah, let's talk about letting it go, and let's share some stories with you about letting it go and how it's reduced the stress in our life. So you might remember a couple of podcasts ago, we told you to slow down, Bryce, stop racing ahead. My knee's hurting. You know, I twisted it, didn't I, when I fell the other day. Should we go around the edge of the field, or should we go around let's go around the edge of the field and it'll last longer.
Okay.
We're taking you through now a big field that leads to the towpath that we walked on with you last week. So this is a different way to that towpath, and it's right now in England, it couldn't be more beautiful. I know it's a cloudy day, and Brian was like this morning, oh, don't record when it's not sunny because it just looks dull, but it actually looks beautiful, doesn't it?
The colours in the distance, the oranges and the yellows at the moment, it's pretty spectacular, which goes, like you say, hand in hand with the leaves falling, doesn't it? You know?
I know, and letting it go.
Yeah, they let it go every year, don't they?
They do. And every
deciduous
year,
trees.
isn't it always the way that every year you think, for some unknown reason, oh, the leaves won't drop this year.
Yeah.
They'll hold them a bit longer this year, and every year they drop, and you're surprised by that. And I never know why, because I'm 54 years old. Of course the trees lose their leaves every year, but I'm always surprised when they do.
I know.
Like, oh, look at the leaves, they're falling. You know,
I know, they still look quite good, some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get pretty battered though, don't they, the old leaves? It's not like the evergreen leaves that seem to, they drop every year as well. People go, oh, they're evergreens, but they still do have their own shedding where they replace the leaves, don't they?
Talking about dropping, we dropped a clanger. We thought we dropped a clanger, and that's what we're going to talk to you about. You might recall that a couple of podcasts ago, when we first arrived in England, we bought a second-hand car for £1,300. You can go back and listen to that episode about all the to-do about buying it. And, well, what happened to it, Bri? What happened last week with your car?
That's the thing. We were in. If you watch that podcast, but you can see the train in the background. We talked about on the day and the limited amount of time that we had to purchase a car. Now, it was a Vida Passat. Very comfortable car, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was lovely. It was really nice.
Very,
It had heated
very quiet.
seats.
Very plenty of power, and obviously 15 years old on the UK roads, 200,000 miles. Which some Japanese cars can't even get close to that,
Let's not worry about that. Let's come on.
We always get the comments on this channel.
I know, but just talk about the story.
So the story goes it had to last us 4 weeks, and that was the same price as renting a car of a similar size. So
we hoped it'd last longer, though.
Of course you do. You want
it was supposed to last us till the end of November.
It was supposed to last another 5-6 weeks until the end of the trip in England, and it came to the MOT time, popped it through the MOT, and which is like a WOF in New Zealand, warrant of fitness, Ministry of Transport check, which is MOT, and the guy said, listen, fair wear and tear, there's a whole bunch of small suspension bits that need to be replaced. He said because they've gone past their where it can pass its MOT. So he said, I'll get a price together for you, and it was about £1,000, just over £1,000. So you've got to look at it and go, right, we're here for 5 weeks. We don't really need a car where we are.
Brian, I've got to stop you. I'm
saying,
you're making it sound so, oh, well, he said it's £1,000, and I was like, well, Bri.
Well, do you want me to tell the story?
Yes, I do, but...
Well, then let's carry on.
Okay.
And so, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted... well,
that's my job, isn't it?
Is.
If I don't interrupt, then they're not going to be happy.
Yes, so the dilemma is, do we spend another £1,000 on that car? And a big part of me goes, yes, I do. Because I like that car. It's nice and comfortable, and that electric seat's really nice on my back. And
we've just been to Alton Towers in it, taking us to Alton Towers, down to Cornwall, been all over in it, haven't we?
Yeah, so I mean that included 2 new tyres as well, because the two tyres were a bit sketchy on the back tyres apparently. Through to the canvas apparently.
Brian,
anyway,
he said, I'm not going to let you take this out the garage. It is so dangerous. You're not allowed to drive it. It's a death trap. Come on, be honest.
It was, and that's why
Stop rushing over.
I didn't drive it back home. I left it with him and said, "I'll get back to you tomorrow. Get me some prices. Get back tomorrow." And even after the first day of finding out about how much it was, and then going to Sonny, my son, who went 50-50 on the car,
Poor sod.
and
He's
said,
been
"Do
ripped
you
off."
want to pay any more?"
No, I can't even drive it.
He goes, "Not really." He said, "But I will if you want me to." And then you just start to think, and again, the big part of you just goes,
stop
keep
on
it, keep it, keep it, you know? And that's about letting go and going, the relief when you come to the decision and go, just let it go.
We had to have
It doesn't owe me anything, and I just got to let it go. But then you think, it's still worth 1,300, or it's worth something. So that's the hard part, is letting that go.
Yeah.
What are we stopping for?
Yeah. Because I feel like you're racing ahead and
Right.
it's having an effect on your
No, the reason
talking.
why is because I might just think, if I don't get this out, you'll stop and tell me that I'm doing
Well, I'm gonna stop and
doing
tell you.
something wrong. Just like now, I was like, why have we stopped? Why have I finished my story? Because it just went boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
I don't know why.
I'll tell you why.
God.
Because this person, this person listening to this story
Yes, that's you.
needs to know the truth, and
Well, that is the truth.
Yes, but the difference between your truth and my truth is
Well,
is
it always will
completely
be.
different.
Men are from Mars.
No, but you've got to tell the person
Yes.
that when the phone call came,
Yeah.
it was devastating to us, because it was like your car.
Someone's taking your wheels away from you.
Everything's gone now.
It's gone,
You've
yeah.
got 2 kids. You're in the middle, outside Bath, 20 minutes outside Bath. You're not near a supermarket. I mean, we have got a little cafe up the road that sells a load of stuff. You know, it now means you can't go down and see your family in Cornwall.
Yep.
And you haven't got £1,300, which we knew, you know, it never stops at £1,300, does it? We knew it was like, this is going to be so much more than £1,300.
Yeah.
And in 6 weeks' time, do you want to just come down here by this swing? That's
Well,
a nice
I
little.
don't really want to. No, but
Why?
we are going that way apparently.
Oh, I don't like the attitude today.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't like. No, I don't. Not come on.
All
Not
right.
come on.
Yeah.
I don't like it. We're going down here. Apparently, let it go.
You don't think
Let
she
it
would go
go,
over there. You
Brian.
just walked over there to let's go over here.
Although that lady's turned away now, she probably just thought,
Well,
oh,
that's
God.
why I wanted to move over the way, but you turned the camera back on. I was just going to try and keep it to the river.
All right then, where do you want to go?
Well, just there like that. So she could have come past, but she's turned around and walked away.
Well, she probably heard us arguing and
I
thinking,
know.
oh my
What
God,
are they doing?
this isn't very Freshford.
Yeah, I know that.
People don't do this in Freshford. Anyway, so my point is,
Yes.
and I think it's really important that you say this, is it wasn't just a case of, oh, hi, Brian, your car's going to cost $1,300. Oh, well, mate, just leave it then. It was a massive, massive decision.
Do you know why? I was going to tell all that story, but I got waylaid halfway through and saying, you're not telling the story as it is. And what I was trying to say when I'll get back to you tomorrow was to sleep on it and then reassess all the things that a car brings you and what you're going to miss out on that with how do we get our shopping? How do we get this? And that whole day was spent thinking, right, we need to set up the Tesco's account. We need to, that which is a supermarket account. Can they do deliveries where we are out in the middle of nowhere? I was going to the gym with my son in the mornings. Can he get a train and change his gym because it was too far across town? And it was all the logistics of everything of like, you haven't got a car.
I know.
And you've got to rely on
And not only
public
that, you're in
transport.
England.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in Thailand where you can just get a tuk-tuk or something like that, is it? You know, where
Yeah.
you can just get easy. I don't know. We've never lived in England without a car in our whole life. We've never done that.
No, and I wanted to go down and spend some time with my dad, who is coming up to 91 years old, and I wanted to document his life through a podcast of what he's done since 1933 when he was born, and just go through his life, why he's still here and fully has got all his marbles, like, you know, and that's another thing I was thinking, oh, how am I going to do that now? Oh, well, I hire a car. And you think, well, it's still cheaper to hire a car for the time than what it was to spend £1,000.
Yeah, we worked it out.
You know?
Also, I just think it's important to say, because if you are new to this channel and you've only just joined this podcast, we are here in England for another 5 weeks. We're on a year-long trip from New Zealand. We've rented our house in New Zealand for a year, and we're only here until 21st of November. So we've only got, and then we don't know where we're going after that. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're thinking about Canada, but we don't know. And so we knew that we've only got another 6 weeks left in this house, in this rental. We've only got 6 weeks left. So we were tossing all that up as well. We're like, well, if we spend £1,300, you know, we were dividing it through 6 weeks. And then also the hassle of what would we do with
You've
the car?
got to sell the car.
Yeah,
so
when we left.
When do you sell it? Do you sell it on the day you go to the airport? It'd be nice if you could.
Do you want to walk through, darling?
Yeah, but it's all those things that you weigh up. Because straight off the bat, the first thing is yes, keep it. And
Why though?
because
Why did you want to keep it?
Because you need it.
Why?
For all those reasons I just said. Go to the supermarket, just going out.
Oh, look, let me just show people. Let me just show them. This gate is called Tessa's gate. And our daughter's called Tess. And when she walked through it the other day, someone's dog, and they've built a plaque, and it's a green plaque with red letters. And it says, Tess, born on the 11th of the 10th 6th, and then died on the 8th of August 2022, and it says dog gone. And they've dedicated this gate to her. So how gorgeous is that?
I know, it's lovely what some
so
people will do,
beautiful.
isn't it?
Mind you, Tess made me laugh. She said, I went for a walk this morning. She said, and there's a gate called Tess Gate. And I said, oh, really? She went, yeah, it's about a dead dog. And I went,
Nice.
ah. I said, oh, okay, Tess. But anyway, yeah. So apart from the fact that, we're just going through a tunnel that's right by the river now, and it's overshadowed by all these leaves, these falling leaves on the trees, and it's just, it smells so beautiful. It smells so autumny, and it's just beautiful.
It is, right at the side of the River Avon.
Yeah. So yeah, what I wanted to say was, I know that you were worried about, or we were worried about, how would we live without a car? But also, Bri, was it letting go of, was it letting go of the fact that you'd bought a bit of a duffer?
Well,
and you had to admit that?
No, I didn't.
Even though you didn't.
Do you know what? It's not a case of did I buy a duffer. Those things go through your mind. That's why you want to think, I'll just keep it going and I'll get my money back for what I've spent out on it. Which, yes, we could have done, but with the predicament that we're in, if we're at home, I would have got it fixed.
Would you?
No doubt about it. Yeah. But I would have fixed it myself. So it would have been even cheaper, probably would have cost about £300. So anyway, that side of it, I understand what you're saying about look, you made a poor choice.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Hang on, let me just justify that a minute. Let me just explain what I mean when I say that. The first thing I said to you when he phoned up, because I could see your face, you were just like, oh my God, my family are going to be disappointed that I've chosen this car and that. And the first thing I said to you was, you weren't to know, it was a brilliant car, and it was. And you even said yourself, you said, you can't get underneath those cars and look at them. So, but I could see it in you that you were trying to make right this decision that you'd made.
I know.
And I was so proud of you that you let it go and was like, do you know what? No. I'm going to say goodbye to that car. I'm not going to throw good money after bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to chase something that isn't worth chasing. I'm not going to put myself through that stress for the sake of not having a car and having to walk everywhere now and, go to Tesco's and get a delivery. And to be honest, it's been great, hasn't it, Bri?
That's the thing. And this is what I think we're saying about the de-stressing in your life. As soon as I'd said to myself, don't do it, the relief was great. It's because I don't have to worry about that car anymore. That little knock on the suspension arm, I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all those sort of things that you just, straight off the bat, you just instant relief of stress. The Tesco's delivered the next day. So,
Thanks,
and you go, wow, this was great. Right. And I think...
Mind you, they substituted those prawns. What a rip-off. Ooh. Yeah, I ordered some raw king prawns.
Prawns.
King prawns. And when it came, It was those tiny, the size of a pea, cocktail cooked prawns.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be bothered working out how to send it back, or because it was frozen, and I just thought, oh, it doesn't matter. But I just thought, I'm sorry, how can you say, oh, this customer wants some raw king prawns for their nice prawn tagliatelle that they're going to fry in garlic and saute it in white wine and then add cream and tomatoes and lots of basil and black pepper. I know they haven't got those in Tesco, so what I'll send them is this cheap little pea-sized prawn that wouldn't even make enough for a prawn cocktail. I wouldn't even put that in a prawn cocktail. It was an insult to the prawns.
Yeah.
So you know.
Have you let that go?
No. Tesco's, you won't be.
Yeah, bloody.
No, I did let it go. I did let it go, Bri.
Did you?
Yes, I did, because I made us the prawn tag with the prawns, because I had no other
and
prawns to do.
it was still jolly nice, wasn't it?
It was,
But not as nice as those big juicy king prawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, the people who work in Tesco's aren't cordon bleu chefs, are they?
Can I just, well, don't say that. How do you know that?
Well, because
Well,
they
you
wouldn't have
don't.
replaced
My
them
mum
with...
used to work in Tesco. She was a
Well,
fantastic cook. No, it's nothing to do with that. It's just laziness, Bri.
Yeah.
Laziness. Before we move on, unless you've got something else to say,
No, I think...
can I just say, though,
What?
Your Majesty,
What is it?
do you know what someone said on the comments the other day?
No.
Oh, it makes me laugh when you and Brian have these little arguments, these little spats. And I thought, I wish I could say that we were doing it for the camera.
Yeah, I know, but we don't.
But yeah, what was I going to say? It goes to show how much I know you, Bri. And this was a little bit worrying to me, actually.
Why?
Come here, because I want to tell you the truth. So walk slowly. This was a bit worrying to me because you know that night that he told us about the car and he said, you know, sleep on it, Brian, have a think about it.
No, he didn't say that.
He did.
Did he?
Yes.
I thought
He said,
he said I'll sleep on it.
He said, I'll keep the car here and I'll get some prices for you tomorrow, have a sleep on it and have a think about it.
Yep.
And that night we sat down at dinner and we all talked about it and we said, no, we're going to let the car go. And that's when I could see in your eyes that you were, I thought, oh, I hope he doesn't think, you know, he's let us down. And I could see all that. And I went to bed that night. This is the honest truth.
Yep.
I went to bed that night and I lay there waiting for you to get all, like, you know, the water and stuff and all my tablets for, you know, my melamine thing that makes me sleep. And
L-thiamine.
yeah, that's it. And I just thought, I'm just going to put £1,000 on my Payoneer. I'm going to take it out of my Payoneer account. You know, that's my savings account. I'm going to take £1,000 out of my Payoneer account. I'm just going to fix the car. I'm just going to tell Brian to fix the car because I can see it in his eyes that he really, really wants this car, right?
Right.
And then you came to bed, you lay down and you went, oh, and I went, you okay, Brian? You said, I'm so relieved that I don't have to have that car
There you
anymore.
go. The pressure's gone.
And I just thought,
Yeah.
God, it's a good job we're not on Mr. and Mrs.
I know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but that's
what
because
I'd get that wrong.
Yeah, that's where you need that time, and then just to know that you can do everything basically without a car, because you're literally a 4-minute walk from the train station, which is an 11-minute ride into Bath. It's £4.50 return.
Because Brian's got his senior citizen and I just jump
senior
on with
rail
him.
card. How good is that?
I know.
Eh? Thanks, British Rail or GWR,
Yeah.
Great Western Railway.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, or God's Wonderful
Well, there's got to
Railway.
be some perks for being over 60, Bri.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've just found one.
Yeah, not like a young whippersnapper at 54 who can't keep up with me.
Look, there's that bench I was telling you about when you were
Oh,
saying to
right.
me you don't even know if there's a bench. You don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about, Liz.
No, I haven't got a
Do you
clue.
want to sit on that bench or do you just want...
No, I think we just keep walking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just sit on that bench when we come back then.
All right. Yeah, we're not far from the aqueduct anyway. We can always sit up there if you want.
No, I just like it where there's no one else, Bri.
All right.
It's nice. I don't like going to the busy places when we're
Yeah.
trying to record a podcast. It's a bit distracting.
Look, yeah, and over the other side of the river there's one of the old Napoleonic pillboxes. So if you just swing around there, you can just see it in the background. Just over there. That was
know
to
what I
protect the river in
Do you know what I
Napoleonic
really
times.
love about England?
What?
The sound of the crows. Oh, he just
know.
crowed when I said that.
It's like Wurzel
You went,
Gummidge, isn't it?
"Rah!" I love them. I don't understand how people don't love them.
What,
I
the sound of
I
it?
love them so much.
No, you don't get them in New Zealand, do you?
Well, I don't know. We've said this before, and people said that we do, but I don't know. I've never heard them where we live anyway.
Not in the North Island, maybe on the South Island, maybe somewhere else, let us know. A
Yeah.
proper crow. Yeah.
Anyway, what I was going to say to you, so we've let that go now. So that's that story.
Yeah, it's definitely let go. And we are a week now after not having a car. And we have double the amount of walking that we've done.
I know.
Like nobody's business,
I
haven't
know. I feel really, really fit.
we? Yeah.
I've never stopped walking. Even that woman that lives down the road said to us last night when she saw us, didn't she? Do you never stop walking? I
know.
thought, no, we don't.
No, because now we just go to the local shop, which is great. You're shopping local, get buy your eggs from there and all those little things. Like
Yeah.
they do a very good sourdough there, don't we? Which occasionally we'll buy, and just any other stuff.
Yeah. Hiya.
Yeah. And so we've gone from sort of we normally do around about 10,000 steps up to 15 to 20,000
We
steps.
are now. Listen. We are your eco warriors now, aren't we, Bri? Aren't we?
We are.
We are. We're going to be one of those couples now that look down on other people who have a car.
Next minute we'll be buying an electric bike, Les?
Yeah.
An extra long one.
It's making us very. What's that word when you become like, not snobby? What's the word when you? Oh, I don't know. I can't think of the word. When you judge everyone else for their choices.
Oh right. It's good to judge, isn't it?
Oh, what is that word? I can't remember. It just means that like when someone gives up smoking and then they
become the worst.
They become the world's worst because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you shouldn't smoke. Yeah, well, or I can't think of the word, but that's it anyway.
Yeah.
The second story we wanted to share with you, can you just slow down a bit? I'm not as fit as I used to be, Bri.
See that?
All this walking is just knackering me out. The second story we wanted to share with you is, you might remember, if you are regularly listening or watching this podcast, that we took you for a walk down the canal where all the towboats are.
The towboats. Yeah.
What they call, they're not called towboats, are
The
they?
narrow boats.
The narrow boats, that's
Yeah.
it, where people live. And you might not have even noticed this. I hope you didn't, but I doubt that you probably did. But as we were starting the podcast and we were walking along, and we had the camera like this, we were filming it, and we've got little microphones on our lapels, so it's very inconspicuous. We're not like glaringly have these massive microphones. It's just an iPhone that we hold out, and this little camera, this little microphone that you can't even see on our thing. So we feel quite comfortable walking along and not thinking we're being too intrusive to people. But as we walked past this one boat, a guy came out of his narrowboat. He was making coffee or something, and he stood and faced us to our backs and shouted really loud.
It wasn't overly loud, but you can hear it on the video.
Well,
If
it
you
was
go back
loud
and
enough
listen
to
it.
hear and loud enough for us to go, what? And turn round. Well, certainly me. Yeah, you can see it if you go back and look. And he turns around and he shouted, "Who do you think you are?" Anyway, we carried on doing the podcast and we made a bit of a laugh about it. And then when we'd finished the podcast, we walked back along that path. We weren't filming by now. Everything was packed away. And we were heading towards his boat, and I could see that he was outside his boat. He was standing outside doing something on his boat. And he looked over and he saw us walking towards him, and he squared up, he as if like, I'm going to say something again. And I just got Brian's arm and I squeezed it and I said, don't say anything to him. Don't answer back. Don't start anything. Not saying that you were a troublemaker.
I would
but
never do that. Me?
I could feel it. I could feel you prickling like a flipping dog with the bloody bristles on the back of its neck, when you know it's going to go and you're like, no, come here, don't say anything. Anyway, we walked towards the guy and he looked straight at us and he said, finish your filming now, have you? And Brian didn't say a word. And we just carried on walking. And I looked at you and I said, well done, Bri, for letting it go. Well done. And so I want to talk to you now about how you let it go and how it felt when you let it go.
Yep.
Because I know you very well. Obviously, I just told you when I lay in bed, I think about you and I know exactly what you're thinking. So I know you very, very well. I would win, Mr. and Mrs. And the Brian that I know would have said, "You got a problem, mate?" Or "What's that, mate?" Or something. I thought you were going to do that and you didn't. So talk about it.
Well, why didn't say anything?
Why didn't you say anything? And what did it feel like when you didn't retaliate?
I think it might have been that big hammer he had in his hand. Because he was doing something on his anvil. No, he wasn't. Do you know, there was a whole bunch of things, because rewinding when he first said, "Who do you think you are?" Before he even said it, we could smell the aroma of marijuana.
Wacky Packy.
Wacky
I even
Packy,
say that
yes.
on the podcast. I'm like, God, it stinks of Wacky Packy around here.
And
Even though I love the smell of Wacky Packy.
I don't know. I've worked with a lot of stoners. Not that I've got anything against stoners or anything like that, but I just think they have quite a few sort of mood swings because of the ups and downs. And I don't. Do you know what? I'm waffling on here a little bit.
No, you're not.
The main.
Tell the truth.
So that was the one thing. Is like, and he was a lot older than me, or he appeared to be a lot older than me. And I just thought, do you know what? I feel quite calm and content on my testosterone.
Oh, is that what it was?
And that's what I think with a lot of older people, they need to be on it because it gives you that calmness that, I don't know, it depends. Some people say testosterone makes you aggressive, and I think it doesn't. I think it's the other way around, is when you haven't got enough of it, you're aggressive because you feel that you should be more of a man. And honestly, that's my reasoning. I've calmed down
so interesting.
so much since I've been on it, which is the last probably 3 years, that's all, 2.5 years, 3 years.
Yeah. I
Because
didn't think
again,
about that.
you know, it always goes back to that when I said about sitting at the table with my son and his friends, and they were all about 21 at the time, or 20, and I just couldn't keep up with them. I was just like, what's going on here? And you feel that annoyance starting there, and then within 3 months, I'd found out about being celiac and got into my longevity side of things, and realising that, hey, after the age of 30, we lose 1% a year. So I'm like looking at it and thinking, I've lost over 30% of my testosterone. Go and get the levels checked. They weren't super low, but they were on the lower side of where the norm is. And I think that's made a big difference, just to calmness and seeing things out.
Yeah.
You know?
Now you say that, that makes perfect sense. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I just find it gives you more drive. It makes you want to work out more and stuff like that. And just all the other good things that you did when you were that bit younger.
Do you know what? Just hold that thought. It's really funny because I've got a newsletter. I've got an email newsletter list called The Front Row, where I write everything about what's happening in our life, but just very, very frankly and openly. And alongside the newsletters, I usually do like a cartoon sketch of me and Brian, or something that's happened in the day. Just like I'm not a drawer, but I do like these little doodles. And I'd written this email about going to the pub with Brian, and alongside it, I'd drawn a picture of me and you toasting a glass of wine to each other. And this guy that subscribes to the newsletter, he's called Lynn, he emailed me back and he said, I can see Brian's testosterone is working nicely. He's well up for it or something. And when I looked at the drawing that I'd done and sent out to thousands of people, there's this big flipping sticky up willy.
All right.
Yeah, there is, right? I didn't mean to do it, but it's just, where the pen had gone like that. I didn't mean to do it. And it makes you look like you are quite the man, actually.
There we go.
So, yeah. But yeah, going back to, and remember you can sign up for that newsletter if you want to get dirty letters off Liz, by going to thefrontrow.com. it'sadrama.com/thefrontrow.
Frontrow.com. No, it's not that at all. It's it'sadrama.com /front row.
But yeah, going back to your...
Yeah, so, and that's what then makes you feel that little bit calmer to think, I can just ignore that.
I can let it go.
I don't need to interact with that because I feel a little bit sharper and a little bit above that. And I'm not saying, it would always stop me doing it, and then within 5 minutes, you've let it go and you're almost like laughing at it. And then you just think you feel so much better.
You do.
Because you haven't aggravated your day.
Yeah.
You really haven't.
Yeah.
And I just think it's wonderful when you can do things like that.
Yeah.
You know, because a similar thing happened just about where we're about to turn up now, because the second part of that podcast, someone else said to you, as we were walking down with this camera like this, and she came past on a bike, and
You can see all this, by the way, if you
Yes,
go back
you
and
can
watch
go
the
back and
podcast.
watch
It's
it.
all there.
it's towards the end of the
You have
walk,
to watch it though and not listen. You'd
and
have
you
to watch
just
it.
literally, she just looks at us at the side. She's got a big pink headphones on, driving an electric bike. I even said, oh, that must be tricky, it's a big long electric bike. If you listen to what I said about 10 minutes ago, I did actually mention the big long electric bike that we'd have to buy to be that eco warrior. And she just goes, really?
I know.
And I just thought, what? See, why do you need to interact with that? You know, have her headphones on that she's either listening to music or someone's podcast or that someone's created. And I just said, look, she's listening to something because someone's created something for her. And
Yeah.
that's all we're doing is creating content. And then someone turns around to you and goes, really?
Anyway, this is about letting it
And
go.
that's what we let go as well.
Yeah. And it feels, it's weird when you don't bite, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, and I'm always so proud of myself and proud of you, us,
Us. Yeah.
when we don't react. It's either to something that the kids have said, like provoking, you know, something that you can really, like, you know, and you just afterwards you think, oh, why did I do that?
Yeah.
I'm always so proud when we let it go, but it's not easy. And
Yeah.
that's why I was interested to hear, especially interested to hear, sorry, Brad, can you just stop?
Yeah.
About how you were with that guy, you know? So before we just, sorry, can you just wait a minute, please?
Sorry.
Where are we going?
We're going to walk up there and sit on the bench for the last 5 minutes.
Do you want to, or do you just want to go back to the field and then we can go back to the cafe and have a cup of tea? Because there is that bench. Just turn around and go back the way we came.
Yeah. Because
there's no point in sitting
here we
here,
are at
is
the
there?
aqueduct again, and the cafe that we were going to go to last time, but
It's
yeah,
closed, the
it's
cafe.
closed. Yeah,
Number 10 Tea Garden.
yeah, it's great because it's Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, and there's not
It's not
many
10
people
o'clock.
around.
It's 12 o'clock,
Oh, it's
Bri.
12 o'clock. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's so quiet, and we're right by the river, and we're right by the rail track.
You can hear the robin
And
in the background.
Birds are just singing their little hearts out, and the leaves are. Oh.
I think it's a robin. Not
Yeah,
really
I think that. No.
That's a robin.
Yeah. And just all the leaves are yellow and orange and light brown, and there isn't a breath of wind, which.
Yeah. Oh, the
Coming
leaves are
from
huge, aren't
Taranaki
they?
in New Zealand, we are so used to flipping wind. And even in Greece, when we were in Greece for 2 months, it was windy. It's, you know,
Yeah.
the Cyclades are windy
I
islands.
know. It's not the Malstrala wind there, I think, because that's, I think, the Mistrala is, it's a Mediterranean wind, I know that. Or is it a north wind?
So
Yeah.
coming here, it's just been bliss, hasn't it? It's been
Yes.
really calm.
It is.
And-
I've actually no rain. I think we've literally had a day of rain.
Also, going back to that guy, what we were just sort of talking about, you know, who do you think you are? I did think, and I was trying to process this as we were doing the podcast, I did think, and this is why I didn't want you to have a go at him, that's why I was holding your arm saying, don't say a word, Brian.
Yeah.
I did think, is it because, you know, he's living down there in his boat, living his life off grid, and suddenly two people walk past with a camera. Again, it's not a big camera, it's only an iPhone. We're holding it on, it's called a Yolanzi. Is that how you say it, Yolanzi?
Yeah, the Yolanzi is just the thing that goes on the, it holds an iPhone if you just do
But you can see we're filming. It's not like you can't see we're filming.
It's like a selfie stick with a
And
big
I-
square plastic thing on top.
And I wondered if he probably thought, stop filming my boat, even though we weren't filming his boat, but he didn't know that maybe.
Do you know what? There was two bikes came by, I think, and then there was two girls running towards us, and we were walking past his boat all around about the same time. So it probably had been the most thing he'd seen, and especially with that aroma that we smelt, he might have just thought of, it's just overloaded his mind. You just don't know, do you? Like,
Right,
you know?
what would you have done? What would you have done? Like, I know you're all calm and you take your testosterone and you let it go,
Yeah.
but what would you have done if he'd have turned round and shouted at you, see, you're not a real man would have an argument with me.
Yeah.
What would you have done, Bri?
Well, he would never have said that, but
Well, how do you know?
I just don't think you wouldn't say to someone you're not a real man. You know, a man doesn't say something like that to another man. He's just go, oh, you're a effing dickhead or something, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
I just honestly, I can't believe that you didn't say anything.
Do you know,
All
there's
these years
there's a
we've
big
been
part
together, you
inside
are
of you.
such a bloody fighter.
I know,
And
but
you know, you don't take things like that easily. I'm not saying you're aggressive. You've never, ever, ever been aggressive. I don't mean that, but you won't be bullied. You will not.
No.
You will not be pushed over. And
no,
so
I don't like bullies.
No.
And that's when it sort of that's when it bites you, is because if you're with your family and someone's bullying or shouting at you to tell you to do something, to move over or get out of the way or whatever it is for no real apparent reason, that's when it gets me, because it's just like, hey, excuse me, could you just move to the side, please? But it's when they shout and point,
Yeah.
that's what gets me. Like, you know?
I was proud of you, Brian. I
Yeah.
was proud. That's what I want to say is, it was like such a relief, because I thought, oh, I don't want to stand on this towpath and have any aggravation whatsoever. I just want to go home and have a cup of tea. And It was such a relief. I was so proud of you. That's the only word I can use. It's just, I was just so proud that you did that.
Oh, well, it's, yeah, but what...
Thank God for testosterone, eh?
I know. Yeah, it's not the only thing. It's about getting that bit older as well. I mean, you know, the wisdom side of you kicks in, and, you know, if you don't use that wisdom, then you're not wise, are you? Not that, you know, you want to be this old wise person, but I don't know. It's that letting go, isn't it? It's so true, because it's how you feel afterwards. Or you can have that interaction and then feel like it for the next 3 days.
Well,
I should have said this.
yeah,
I should have
yeah,
said that. Do you know
yeah.
what? When you don't say anything, it just snuffs it all out instantly, doesn't it? And I think that about that letting go side of things, it's great. It's actually better than interacting, because it doesn't stay with you. I should have just said this. And you think, yeah.
You feel like the bigger person, don't you?
Yeah, but you do.
You just feel,
You feel like a gentleman.
yeah,
That's what you feel like.
yes, yeah.
You know? And that's what
Yeah,
my
bigger
mum
person
always
isn't
said to
the
me.
right word, probably, just...
Was like, manners is the most important thing, and be a gentleman. And that's what she always pushed into you, you know?
Aw, well,
And there's
she
times
would
when
be so proud.
you know, it's a bit like Coward of the County. Sometimes you've got to fight to be a man. Yes, sometimes you do. You really do.
He didn't know, did he?
No. Yeah, but you just, why do you want to dump something on someone? You know?
While we're just on that note, I think this is a good time to say about exactly what you've just said, and this is why we wanted to make this podcast, is... So we were talking about this earlier. Bear with me here. I'll try and explain it the best way I can. But we were talking about it earlier, about how the choices that you make impact what the rest of your day, week, month, year, life will look like. You know,
exactly.
the choices you make. And I made a comment a couple of weeks ago where I said, oh, I saw a sign that said, in order to be happy, remove what makes you sad. And someone commented, I don't think that's right. And I thought, no, actually, I agree. It isn't right. I don't think that you should remove things that make you sad. Like thinking about my mum dying, I can't just think, oh, well, I won't think about her dying anymore and now I'll be happy. So the person who you wrote that comment, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but I agree. You know, I agree that you are right. You can't remove things or you shouldn't remove things or feel like you have to remove things that are sad in order to be happy, because some sad things, you are moving with them or through them. You don't just block them out. So I think that's what you were trying to say, and if that's what you were trying to say, I agree. However, what we also talked about this morning was the choices that you make, like I say, will impact your happiness. If Brian had a go at that guy at the canal, or we'd said yes to the car and now it was making a funny banging noise and we're spending £1,500 and now it's going to cost another £250. And if we had made those choices instead of letting it go, then right now we would be feeling very different to how we actually feel, because we did let those things go, if that makes sense. It's that choice, when you decide to let it go, it doesn't just impact that moment, it goes on to impact the rest of the day and
the rest of the week.
The rest of the week.
And the rest of your life sometimes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because moments build up and they turn into your life. And all of a sudden, when I say to people sometimes, I don't know how we've got this wonderful community that we've got. How did we still can't believe it. We still look at each other sometimes and go, why? Why do people listen? Why are people joining our community? Why do people ask us to coach them? Why? And you think because of the little things you've done throughout your life, the decisions you've made has attracted those good things into your life, including you, including this whole community. So I really wanted to say that because that's what this is all about. That's why letting it go isn't just an immediate relief. It's and I know it's so hard to do sometimes. I know it's so hard to do.
Well, you notice that, talking about the comments that you talk about, because, you get comments on YouTube and you can just see it's a knee-jerk reaction, bump, without listening to the whole podcast. It's just like, no, you've said that wrong, or that's not right. Well, then listen to what was just about to be said in the next 3 minutes. And then by the time you've got that 3 minutes, hopefully you've forgotten about what you were going to say and what you were going to put, and just give a summary at the end of what you thought the podcast was about.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it, but not everybody's like that.
No.
And I just think it's about just letting those things go and just not reacting. Knee-jerk react. Because if you do that, that's not a good way to live your life. For stress levels, for cortisol, that's playing the part in your mind. Like, you get wound up, you get uptight, you stop breathing, cortisol builds up, and you let it go. And that's as in let the nastiness go over someone, instead of just breathing as you go walk through it and go through it and go, okay, am I still remembering that? Not really. Moving on to something else now. Yeah, it's so true. Should we go to that little thing for the last part of the podcast, because you haven't got your third story yet?
Yeah, the last part of the podcast. Before we get down there, so you didn't really answer me. Oops.
Ooh, sorry.
You didn't answer me about how you felt about the. So did you when you walked away from him? Did you feel relieved? Was there any part of you that Did you? Oh, how did you feel?
I just felt a little bit sorry for him more than anything, because I just thought, what's happening in your life that is making you be like that? You look at it from the outside, you're a guy who's looking over 65 years old, with you can go back and see the video there, you'll see him over our shoulder.
Oh, but maybe don't, because I don't want people to be...
it's not hateful towards it, it's just, I look at it and you think, it's actually, you seem to have a nice life, you're moored up with other boats, and I could see him, that he'd been talking to the boat that was two down from there. I think it had a Ukraine flag on it, and
you don't know what people are going through.
You don't know what people are going through,
really
and that's
don't.
the other thing about that knee-jerk reaction. You don't know what day they're having.
No, you don't.
You don't know what life they're having.
I know. I always think that. I think, sometimes I see someone and it's like, oh gosh, she was a bit rude, and then you think, how do you know that she hasn't just found out her mum's got cancer?
Yeah.
You don't know. So, yeah.
I'm just going to sit down on the back of this, Liz.
Are you?
Yeah, because I just think it's just nice to overlooking the river there, and I can hold that.
Do you want me to come to the left?
You just come to that side.
I thought you'd want to sit down on the bench with the backrest.
No, this is kind of nice, because I can stand up and sit down then.
Ah, this has been really nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice calm day, isn't
really
it?
nice.
With literally no wind at all.
We had a bit of a rough start.
No, it's not a rough start. I think it's just, you probably thought I was covering up about what I was actually going to be talking about, as if like lay it all out, as if it's not that bad really, and there you go. So I let it go because it wasn't that bad. And it wasn't that bad. I just was trying to give the full story about that car.
Anyway, our third story is to do with the book that I'm writing. In fact, by the time this podcast goes out, that book might already...
Bit of pressure coming on.
Actually, I just don't release this ever.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast comes out, my book might already be released. So you might be able to buy it if you want to. And
If it is, check out in the description and you might see a link to it.
You might see the link. I can't tell you what it's going to be called because I am still deciding. So, but anyway, this last Let It Go bit is about the book that I'm writing. So I will give you some context in case you haven't listened to the other podcast. So my mum died 18 months ago and my dad died 6 months later. And actually in between those two deaths, our dog died. So there was 3 big, massive losses within the year of 2024. And we came away as part of a healing journey. We rented our house in New Zealand and we came away. And when I got to Paris with my daughter, it was coming up to the year of my mum's death. And everything just started to fall apart for me in my mind. It was almost like I'd left New Zealand, I'd left where mum was, I'd left all that behind, and I was now in a different part of the world. And I had this huge, huge urge to write down everything that I'd experienced, that grief had thrown in front of me, just everything about grief and loss and healing and coping and all the things that happen when someone you love very, 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 very much dies. In fact, 3 people die. Loss, all the things that happen when you are living through loss. Because I've said this before, I got to be the age of 54 and I never knew. I did not know that this is what happens when someone dies. I thought I would be sad. I thought I would really miss her. I thought it wouldn't be the same. And then I would just get on with it. I would just go back to being the normal Liz and everything would just go back to normal. But I just wouldn't have my mum. But that's okay because I've got really nice memories. Well, that is like the opposite of what my experience was. And I wanted to write this book because I want to help other people, if they're feeling the same, think, I'm okay, this is normal. It's perfectly all right to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and check that your husband is still breathing because you are terrified of him dying and leaving you alone. And I wanted to write all that down in a book. And so that's the book I'm writing. And 2 weeks ago, I said to Bri, so it's 101 short reflections about grief, meditations, just insights about grief and loss and healing. And 2 weeks ago, I finished the first draft. And I finished it and I typed the end and then I burst out crying because if you are a writer or anything that doesn't even think that takes a lot of emotional effort, you will know that when you finish something like that, it's like someone just gets a bulldozer and rolls over your face and goes, there you go, how do you feel then? And it just felt like, oh, I'm out, I'm done, it's gone. I've done it. Me and Brian went to the pub that night and Bryce said to me, oh, well done you. And, we were talking about it and it's like, I'm so proud of you. And he said, what's the next stage with it? Are you just going to publish it now? And I said, well, no, I can't publish it straight away because it needs to be edited. So that next day, I went back to my house, where we're staying. And I thought, I read what I'd written. I went back to the first chapter and I read what I'd written. And it was about a pyramid. I wrote about a pyramid and about how it felt to be on top of a pyramid, and that's how it felt at some stage in this journey. It felt like I was teetering on the top of a pyramid, on top of a triangle and looking down, and everything, I was on my own. Anyway, I wrote this and then I read it and I thought, I think I could improve on that. I think I could improve on it. So I went to ChatGTP and put in my passage, not all of it, just a little bit of my passage. And I said, can you improve on this? Or I didn't say that, but I said, without changing my words, and can you enhance this? Or anyway, comes back. And the piece that came back, I'm not joking, it sounded like flipping Wordsworth had written it. It was fantastic. It was like, oh my God, this is so impressive. But it wasn't me. It was this really eloquent, well-written, polished, beautiful piece of prose that wasn't raw, wasn't misspelled, wasn't unpunctuated, just wasn't me, just wasn't it. And so I came across this massive dilemma, actually not a massive dilemma, but I sat there and I thought, right, do I think I'm not going to get an editor, I'm not going to polish it, I'm just going to, what was in here on there now is what's going out. And I came and talked to you about it.
Yeah.
And I said, what do you think? And you said to me, Liz, grief is so messy and so raw and so unscripted and so, you said watching me go through what's been happening, why wouldn't you be the first person maybe in the world to put a book out that has not been edited and not been checked and not been proofread and not been touched? Put it out. What came out here, put it down onto paper and put it out. Don't worry if the sentences are in the wrong place or the comma should have been a hyphen or whatever those words are that I have no idea what they mean.
Semicolon.
Yes, exactly. Don't
stuff.
worry about that. Put it out as it is. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that you said that to me, because it made me wake up and go, you're right, you're so right. It doesn't matter if someone reads my work and goes, oh, that shouldn't have been there. I wonder why she's used that word, and there's so much better words in the thesaurus that she could have used. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's my words. It's my words, my experience that I'm telling you. And we don't need to be punctuated and polished, because that's not what grief and loss and healing is about. And so my Let It Go story, as someone who is such a bloody control perfection, wants everything to be right and perfect and just the way it should be, is to let this out the way it's going to go out, which it will go out like this. I can't think of a bigger let it go than that.
No, I can't think of it. And that's what I like about what you just said about it. It's raw. It's as you've written it. If it's got the in it, then great. The reason why, it's because it's there, because that's what we say to ourselves in our minds. And when I read your writing, it is like the way I think, as in the way you talk to yourself, and that's when you're reading it, it's like it's a great way of describing something in the way that the common man reads it, or not reads it, says it to himself,
Yeah,
like,
just a
or you just say,
person.
well, what about that over there? I'm just going to do that over there. And you'll say that sort of thing, the way you talk. It's like you're talking in my head. And that's why I didn't want to lose in it, by giving it to an editor and go, oh, you could clean this up and change that little bit there and that end, and it still says the same thing, but it reads better. And it's like, does it? But does it sound better? I don't think so. And that's why I'm so glad that you made that decision. You're nearly close to finishing your second draft. And obviously that's when you add the next bits to it. And it sounds to me like you're keeping it spot on.
I am. I'm trying really hard. And again, and I haven't published it yet, but maybe when you read, like I say, so I haven't actually crossed the line, but maybe when you watch this, I will have crossed the line and I will have done it, and you'll be able to, if this book is for you, if you are going through great loss.
I think it's for anyone, because it's not just if you're going through great loss, just even if you read it and learn something about what it was like to go through grief, or it's not a story like that, it's just clips and daily readings and things like that. I don't know, I think a lot of people will get relief, not so much relief.
Yes, relief. Relief is the word.
Relief. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got a friend in your email list, a doctor from America, that's going, please finish writing this book, and I'm going to give it to my clients, because she's a mental health doctor, isn't she?
Yeah.
And you just think, wow,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
what you want. And that's what the help that, be the help you needed. That's what you said that this is about. Yeah.
So I have been doing little, with the help of Bri, putting little videos together of me reading the reflections from throughout the book, and I will put one at the end of this video, this podcast. I will read to you one of those reflections as it was written. But as I was just saying that, I wanted to give you an example of what ChatGTP, or maybe even an editor, I don't know. And believe me, although I'm not against ChatGTP, I am all for keeping it real, always keeping it real, and I felt a little bit grubby letting ChatGTP comment on my work, if I'm honest with you. I really did. But I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist it. I just thought, I just want to see. And one of the lines in one of my reflections was, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. That's what I'd written. And ChatGTP said, I can see what you're trying to do with repetition, but 2 hertz is enough. And we talked about it. And I said, imagine if I was just talking to you now, and I said, and you were crying to me, and I said, oh darling, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I know it hurts. That's how I would say it to you. That's how I would say it. And so it's wrong. It's wrong, ChatGTP, and it's wrong to edit it. It is wrong because, like I say, what comes out of here and goes to you, that's the treasure. That's the gold, and that is the. Hopefully, I'm brave enough to let it go and let it go, and
yes, let it out as it is. Let it go. Yeah.
So, yes,
See, my time to be proud of you, Nia.
Yeah.
There you go. It is. It's no, it's not easy to be an author. I don't know. You say writer, but actually, you're an author at the end of the day.
So I'm going to read to you now. I'm going to read a reflection from that, so stay around for that.
Is it going to be the one you talked about this morning when we have our coffee? Or are you going to talk about the trains, considering there's a bunch of trains?
I don't know. I'm going to choose it and then I'll put it together, and
right.
then I'm not sure which one, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here and for your support and for everything, for listening, for lending us your ear and being such a wonderful friend and companion as we make these podcasts. So don't forget, my heart beats with yours.
Yep, so kia kaha, stay strong, kia u, stay true. And will we be on the next one, Liz?
I don't know.
Who knows? And if there's that book going to be done?
Yes,
let's hope it is.
will. Okay, speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
You are broken, you are sad, you are hurting, you are furious, you are weak, you are tender, you are fierce, you are certain but feel scared, you are battered and then mended, you are up, you are down, you're on top, then buried deep, you are crying, you are dark, you are stronger but you're hopeful, you can see but it's blurred, you can hear but forget, you say sorry but you're not. You are fussy, you are messy, you are tangled but feel straight, you are crumpled but feel flat, you are dry, you are wet, tall and then shrunken. You feel guilty, feel relief, you feel it all and then feel nothing. All the same words, all the same feelings at all different times, on all different days. Because, my love, you are grieving. You, my love, are grieving. You are grieving, my love. You are grieving.
Anyway, we go round there and beautiful reception. You know, they'd laid on lovely food, there was wine, there was about, how many people were there? 2? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 or 10 people,
Yep.
which in a small room.
A little conservatory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just felt like, oh my God. And we were the guests of honour, so we were the centre of attention.
Yeah.
And Oh my, oh. We sat down, poured us a drink, and I immediately was like, oh, so, you know, how long have you lived here? This is a lovely house. Did you build it? You know, all the normal questions. Oh, where are your kids? And what's... Trying to, like, deflect the conversation away from us. Anyway, it was like a load of owl eyes just suddenly just went vroom on us. And he said, and the host said, so tell us, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And I looked at you and I was like, I don't know.